The Emperor of Great Wei is dying. The Crown Prince is too weak to rule. But inside the palace, it's not just the princes who scheme and shadows. Their mothers each have their own motives. One wants revenge. Another will do anything to gain power. And the third hides a dangerous secret. In the middle of it all, the fate of the kingdom stands at the edge of collapse. Seam City. Presents. Whispers of Steel. In the Jade Pavilion, the first prince, Kunlun, sits alone playing the chess game. His maid rushes in and whispers something to him. He nods. Make a cup of tea. Concubine Yan, the prince's mother, enters as soon as the maid leaves. Mother, he says quickly, rising from his seat. You should have sent for me. Why did you come yourself? I'm already here, she replies, glancing around the room. You can take your seat. He returns to his seat in silence. You know why I'm here, she says, settling at the other end of the board and moving a chess piece. We really need to act fast. Your father's health is deteriorating by the day. You need to be by his side. This is your opportunity to make him confer the title of Crown Prince upon you. That sickly child can't rule, not over you, not over us, not over this kingdom. Mother, I have plans that are already in motion, he replies calmly, shifting a piece of his own. There's no need to rush. Of course you're always calm like nothing bothers you at all, but I can't help but remind you that the Empress is gradually taking over the court. She will make sure her son is crowned. Our future in this palace is at stake, she says, gently moving another of her pieces. Just then, the maid enters quietly, carrying a jar and 2 cups. She bows to Concubine Yan before proceeding to pour the tea. Have some tea, mother, Kunlun says, gesturing toward the cup being filled. She sighs and accepts the filled cup with a graceful nod. Far from the palace walls, Crown Prince Jinhai stands at the second-floor window of a tea house, his eyes fixed on the bustling street below. At his side is a silent maid and a loyal guard with a worried expression. Your Highness, we should head back to the palace. It's time for your medicine, the maid says politely. The prince raises his hand, signaling her to stay quiet. His eyes narrow, fixated. Who is she? Who? The guard asks, scanning the crowd below. The lady in blue, he replies impatiently. The maid steps forward, hesitating. She. Yes, she, he presses, his face forming a frown. The maid lowers her gaze. That is Yan Wanmei, Concubine Yan's niece. He narrows his eyes, repeating the name. Yan Wanmei. Feng Rui, he calls sharply. The guard steps forward. Your Highness. Find out something for me, he says, leaning in to whisper a few words. Understood. With a swift bow, Feng Rui disappears into the bustling crowd below. Your Highness. The maid starts to speak but decides against. Back to the palace, the prince says quietly, brushing past her. She nods silently and follows behind. At the Yan family residence, Wanmei wears a pale blue dress that hugs her frame. A thin belt sits at her waist, and her hair is tied neatly with a silk ribbon. The scent of fresh flowers fill the air. Has father returned? She asks as her maid gently arranges her hair. Not yet, my lady. He seems to frequent the palace more these days, Wanmei says softly, tapping lightly on her dressing table before rising. Come with me. I want to see my mother. Waylon nods and follows her. Lady Fua sips from a delicate glass as Wanmei enters hurriedly. She sets the glass down with a sigh then shakes her head. I've told you before, Wanmei. A young lady, especially a noble one, must carry herself with dignity. The must remain composed at all times. But you don't behave like a noble lady at all. Mother, I don't care about those things. Rules are similar to chains meant to bound and restrict. As long as I can care for you and father, I won't mind anything else, she says, settling beside her mother. You're just like your father, Lady Fua sighs. Character is everything for a young lady. I truly don't know how else to make you understand. Mother, I understand. But could we not talk about this today? Mother, I wish to accompany father to the palace. Please grant me permission, Wanmei says softly. Lady Fua stands slowly, her maid stepping forward to assist her. Her voice is calm but firm. Is that really necessary? You may go wherever you want. Except the palace. I've told you this before. But you've never told me why. Wanmei replies, her voice sharper than intended as she rises. Lady Fua pauses, her face shines with uneasy. Fine. You can go. But don't stray too far from your father. Thank you, mother. Get some rest, I'm leaving. Wan Mei says, walking away in excitement. Lady Fu watches her daughter disappear through the doorway, her gaze lingering. She has always been like him. She murmurs to no one in particular, moving toward her bed. In the quiet orchid courtyard, concubine Jiang sits in a plain robe, her long hair bound with a jade pin. Beside her, Princess Chuan Hua is embroidering a flower in a silk cloth. Mother, the princess says, brow furrowed, I really don't want to get married right now. Especially not to Xiao Palace Prince Li Fan. He's rude and uncultured, nothing prince-like about him at all. Concubine Jiang smiles faintly, stroking her daughter's hair. Silly girl. Didn't your father already say you won't be married off? Why are you still anxious? But they've made it clear, haven't they? They'll only exchange the medicine for father's health. If I agree to the marriage, Chuan Hua murmurs, lowering her gaze as she fixes her eyes on the needlework. Concubine Jiang stands slowly. Your brother is handling these matters, she says. Even the crown prince is involved. You are our precious one, how could we send you off like this? She says calmly. The princess nods slowly, a small smile on her face. I'm heading out for a bit. You should rest, mother. In the imperial hall of Great Wei, tension is thick. Ministers in muted gray and brown robes stand in stiff lines, their faces expressionless. Empress Zhou sits on the high platform beneath the golden dragon canopy, dressed in full regalia. With the emperor's health failing, she has assumed control of court affairs. Her gaze is cool, commanding. She waits for silence before she speaks. I have reviewed several memorials, she says calmly, opening a scroll. Most speak of the famine and unrest in the northern provinces. The situation has persisted for months. She sets the scroll aside and looks up. I am considering sending the crown prince to personally oversee relief efforts and restore peace. Murmurs ripple through the hall. Finally, Minister Yan, a senior minister, steps forward and bows. Your Majesty, the crown prince's health is not stable. This task may not be suitable for him. I beg you to reconsider. Empress Zhou's eyes narrow. Minister Yan, you think the crown prince is too weak, or you just want your nephew to go? The minister speaks calmly. Your Majesty, you misunderstood. I say this out of concern for the crown prince. His health should be of topmost priority. Empress Zhou leans back, expression unreadable. So in your opinion, who is most suitable for this? The minister pauses for a few seconds, then speaks. I think we should have the emperor deciding on this matter. The empress' face turned cold. You. Before she continues, a voice rises from the left side of the court. I believe Prince Jun is a better choice, a younger official says. Some ministers murmur in agreement. No, it's Kunlun, he is strategic enough, another interjects. Soon, the hall buzzes with divided voices, some backing Kunlun, others Jun. Division seeps into the court like smoke. Empress Zhou surveys them all in silence. In the Hall of Supreme Harmony, a hall that becomes chamber to a king when he is crowned, the scent of herbs lingers. The sick emperor slowly sips his medicine, hands trembling. Prince Jun kneels by his side, eyes full of concern. How did the court meeting go? The emperor asks. The empress has everything under control. You don't have to worry, Jun replies smoothly. The emperor nods, setting the bowl aside. These days, I feel stronger. Thanks to your care. Father, you're blessed by the heavens. You still have many years ahead. The emperor chuckles weakly, then looks at Jun. You've always seemed more kind-hearted than your brothers. Jun sits beside him. It's thanks to your guidance. And mother's teachings. The emperor pauses. You really have no interest in the throne. Jun shakes his head. Father, I just prefer some peace and quiet. The throne is too much trouble. The emperor nods. And the crown prince? What is he up to these days? He doesn't do much, Jun says calmly. He seems uninterested in politics. Perhaps it's time to consider Kunlun as crown prince. Jinhai, just like me, wishes to leave carefreely. The emperor's gaze sharpens. He told you that? Jun hesitates. No, but... The emperor cuts him off with a wave. Then you shouldn't say that. A eunuch's voice interrupts from outside. Consort Yan arrives. Jun rises with a bow. I'll take my leave. As he exits, he nods at Consort Yan, who brushes past him in silence. Your Majesty, she says gently, helping the emperor sit upright and handing him a fresh bowl. He drinks slowly. What's on your mind? he asks. You always act like you care. She begins, then her tone hardens. But you made her empress, and her son the crown prince. After all these years, what have I gained? The emperor sighs. What is it this time, Suyan? I never asked to be empress, she says, voice rising, but Kunlun deserves the crown. That's the least we deserve. You dote on concubine Jiang and her children, she adds bitterly. Kunlun and I feel like we are working on eggshells every day. The emperor adjusts slowly, unreadable. I know you feel wronged. But I have always loved you most. And Kunlun. I only want him to live freely. You say that to keep me calm. I am tired of it, she snaps. My son is bold, calm, and worthy. Yet you choose that sickly boy over him. The emperor's gaze hardens. She drops to her knees. Your Majesty, please. Forgive my words. My heart is heavy, I really want to know why I am treated this way. Tears brim as she bows low. In the eastern wing, Crown Prince Jinhai sits at a low table surrounded by fancy snacks. Opposite him, Princess Chuan Hua smiles cheerfully. You brought so much today, he says, lifting a pastry. To what do I owe this favor? This is a thank you gift, she says. For always looking out for me. Even my marriage is on hold, thanks to you. He takes a bite. These snacks are good. He says nodding. I should be the one saying thank you. Compared to all the goodness you have shown me, I have done very little. She smiles brighter. Let me check your pulse. She touches his wrist gently. After a pause, she smiles. Your condition is quite stable. He returns the smile just as Feng Rui enters and bows. Chuan Hua rises. I'll visit father. Enjoy your snacks. She leaves as Feng Rui steps forward. Your Highness, he begins, Wan Mei is the daughter of Lady Fu and Minister Yan. She visited the palace twice as a child. But never again. Jinhai waves for him to continue, chewing calmly, his expression calm. A faint breeze stirs the orchids, giving a chill feel. In the orchid courtyard, Prince Jun plays chess with consort Jiang. She moves a piece, her eyes on him. How long will you play sheeps in a den of wolves? She asks. Jun doesn't look up. As long as those wolves don't come at me. She rises slowly, her expression shifting, fondness, anxiety, calculation. But if your father dies, can we truly live in peace? You think too much, he replies. They will be too busy fighting to pay us any attention. He thinks she stares at him, then shakes her head. You don't understand anything at all. What is concubine Jiang hiding? What's the emperor really thinking about Kunlun, and why is Lady Fu reluctant to let Wan Mei's visit to the palace? Find out soon. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications, episode 2 drops in a bit.